Hello everybody, it's Hayes, and today we'll be taking a look at Sabertooth. We'll be going over everything of his, from his kit, to his costumes, to how he plays, to counters, to everything. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. Sabertooth is a 4-star, 550 health off-tank, whose job is to protect his backline from threats. Sabertooth is for people who want a predatory and sadistic playstyle, as your whole job is to not only bully, dive, and brawl characters harassing your healers, but also to dive the enemy's backlines and finish what they started. Mobile, deadly, and doesn't play nice with others, Sabertooth is a one-man army, capable of withstanding quite a bit of punishment without a healer. So let's talk about his kit. First is his primary fire, as he only has one. A slash, just like Black Panther's, that deals 35 damage per swing. Simple and effective, Sabertooth needs to be point blank to deal damage. Yes, 35 damage is pretty low and would require Sabertooth to land 8 hits on someone to kill a 275 HP target. But let's keep going and you'll understand why these values are the way they are. Before we go over his kit, let's do his passives first, as they are the stepping stones for the rest of his abilities. Unlike most in the game, and I believe he is the first or at least part of a small minority of characters, but essentially Sabertooth has 3 passives, which are Passive 1, Apex Predator. Sabertooth has a rage meter that ranges from 1 to 100, just like Wolverine, and as he becomes angrier, he deals more damage to his targets. For example, a 100 rage Sabertooth now deals 45 damage per strike instead of 35. Next passive, Passive 2, Predator Instincts. Sabertooth is an animal, and in being one, he has heightened senses. Because of them, Sabertooth can see targets with 45% HP or below through walls and invisibility. The angrier he is, the more the radius grows. And for his final passive, Passive 3. Alright, I'm not gonna lie, this might be the first passive in the game where it's purely a debuff and does nothing else. So, alright, but here it is. Sadism. Sabertooth's rage meter will only increase his damage against targets who naturally are below 400 HP. So if Sabertooth kidnaps a Hulk, for example, even if he's in full rage, he'll only do the standard 35 damage. This is done to protect the tank class from having to deal with a second Wolverine. Sabertooth is about hunting DPS and healers, not tanks. Do not go after tanks or you will have a hard time doing anything. Stick to ripping DPS and healers apart, and leave the tank busting to Wolverine. What else makes Sabertooth the best anti-squishy tank in the game? Finally, we can talk about his abilities. Ability 1, Savage Rampage. This ability allows Sabertooth to kidnap one target, and upon landing, Sabertooth stands over the kidnapped target and slashes at them at crazy speeds. Range, 13 meters. Cooldown, 12 seconds. Alright, let's go more in depth. Yes, this is exactly Wolverine's ability 1 for 1. In spirit alone though, the animation is wildly different. Upon activation, Sabertooth runs before dropping to all fours and lunging at his target and kidnapping them. During the bounce, if Sabertooth presses the jump button, he can fly much higher into the sky than normally, but truth be told, he will not be doing any crazy sky grabs like Wolverine. Now, this ability is significantly harder to land than Wolverine's leap, as you must time the bounce of the ability properly or you'll miss. However, this comes with a much better upside. If you land it, Sabertooth stands over the kidnapped target upon landing and slashes them at crazy speeds, just like Wolverine's Berserk Claw Strike. The CC only lasts for 0.75 seconds before Sabertooth jumps off. However, even when he jumps off, he's still in range, and the Sabertooth player can still hold the melee button, and if you've been kidnapped, you will still be taking damage. But before I get any angry people in the comments, let me quell some concerns. Yes, it is CC, but anybody kidnapped is immune to any damage source that is not Sabertooth. So you won't get kidnapped and explode immediately from having 6 people shooting at you. But Sabertooth can still be damaged when he's in the slashing animation. Ability 2, Predator Pounce. Sabertooth leaps with his arms wide open, and upon landing he slashes. Can ground flyers if you somehow manage to hit them though. Cooldown, 8 seconds. Much like the Bum and Mr. Bumtastic, this ability allows Sabertooth to fly to an enemy and respond to threats quickly in an effective manner at the press of a button. But unlike them, Sabertooth cannot leap to an ally, enemies only, which will reinforce that Sabertooth isn't exactly doing this out of love for his healers, more like because the divers and brawlers are easy prey. Unlike Hulk's grab, however, Sabertooth only slashes and doesn't drag down flyers, so they fall like a sack of potatoes. Landing this ability gives Sabertooth 20 rage. Now, for Sabertooth's last ability, Rabid Animal. Sabertooth roars and gains health back. Scales with rage and caps at 275 HP refill. Cooldown, 20 seconds. This is Sabertooth's sustain tool for when he's diving, and it makes him way less reliant on healers than his shorter counterpart. This ability costs rage, but it doesn't deplete his rage. And if you roar and you go over your max health, it'll give you overhealth. I gave this ability to Sabertooth because he needs his iconic healing as part of his kit. And since he has literally no shielding ability besides standing in the way and taking fire, he needs the help. Lastly is his ultimate, Man Beast. Sabertooth roars loudly for the whole map to hear, and he receives a speed movement bonus, shorter cooldowns, and damage reduction, as well as augmenting his move. Lasts 10 seconds. What are the augmentations? Well, Savage Rampage can now kidnap multiple people. Predator Pounce now downs everyone hit, just like Wolverine's ultimate. Rabid Animal is on a 5-second cooldown, and his rage is frozen at whatever it is upon activation. So if he ults at 10 rage, it stays at 10 rage for the whole ult. But if he ults at 100 rage, he stays at 100 rage for the full 10 seconds. I'm sure you don't need me to tell you, but just like Wolverine, only ult when you're full or close to full rage. Not much to say. This is Sabertooth going completely feral and letting his animal side out so much that during his whole ultimate he runs on all fours. Now, team-ups. Obviously, his only team-up is with Wolverine. Team-up, Unrelenting Fury. Sabertooth anchors the team up with Wolverine, and Sabertooth gains a 10% damage boost. Wolverine gets a whole new ability called Unrelenting Fury. Yeah. Wolverine instantly goes to 100 rage, and all his attacks become Berserk Claw Strike enhanced for 4 seconds. Okay. Let me explain, because it's not as simple as Wolverine pressing a button and it works. First and foremost, Sabertooth must be able to see Wolverine, as the ability relies on him completely. If Sabertooth never activates it, Wolverine will never be able to use it. Just like the Hulk-Wolverine team-up, both players must accept the prompt by pressing Y. Then a dialogue will play for the whole team before you can use the ability. Upon pressing Y, and both players agreeing, Sabertooth will say, "Go on, Jimmy, do it for Silver Fox." Wolverine hears this and starts growling before exploding in absolute fury, screaming, "I'll kill you!" Sorry, that was a horrible Wolverine impression, but you know. The whole map can hear Wolverine, and everyone will be able to see him coming because his red aura will resemble a Super Saiyan. Only after that is the ability usable, but if you can pull it off, it's absolutely insane. Well, Wolverine, welcome to Band World, buddy.
Dick Coxon, welcome to Band World, buddy.
Alright, we spoke about Sabertooth's kit. Now let me talk about the character just for a little bit. Sabertooth is the most selfish, non-cooperating character you could possibly have on your team. He literally rivals Overwatch's Roadhog for how selfish this guy is. Unlike the Bum or Hulk, which one has a shield and the other has the leap that can help allies, Sabertooth has absolutely nothing to contribute to his team outside of the head of the enemy DPS and healer players on a spike. Him and Venom are competing for the most selfish tank in the game, but I think Sabertooth takes it because Venom has the slow and he has the anti-heal on his ult. Sabertooth does literally nothing for his team except killing enemies, and to be honest, if you're a Sabertooth fan, you know that's exactly how he operates, and you wouldn't have it any other way. So, with this knowledge, Sabertooth is kind of a drifter on the map, always looking for an opportunity to kill and taking alternate flanking routes whenever he's not defending his backline. So if you can't see Sabertooth, you'd better prepare because he for sure can see you. Now, let's talk about matchups. Hard counters. These are characters that gatekeep Sabertooth and keep him playing Respawn Simulator or stop him from doing his job. Emma Frost, Magneto, Penny, and the Thing. Emma's diamond form with her choke opens Sabertooth open to being extremely vulnerable to damage, as well as giving her excellent peel for supports, not to mention that her diamond form makes her CC immune. Avoid Emma at all costs. Magneto with his push and bubble are incredibly good at stopping Sabertooth's effectiveness, as not only can he protect his backline from being jumped, but he can also stop his DPS from getting wrecked with his bubble. Penny counters all dive with her mines that are invisible to my teammates whenever I'm fucking playing anything that's DPS related, so be on the lookout for her as well. And the Bum, obviously, not only is he CC immune naturally, but he can shut off movement abilities, which completely hard counters Sabertooth. Now, neutral matchups. These matchups can go either way depending on circumstances. Wolverine. Sabertooth's biggest and hardest matchup is with Wolverine, as both characters counter each other. And it's completely down to skill and whoever wants the other to die more. Punisher, Iron Man, Human Torch, Hela, Black Widow, Black Panther, Spider-Man, Groot, Hulk, Doctor Strange, and Angela. Punisher is an easy target to kidnap due to his humongous hitbox, but his shotgun can easily destroy Sabertooth's HP, so all it depends on who deals more damage faster. Black Widow and Hela are extremely vulnerable if Sabertooth catches them off guard, but if they notice him, they can kill him before he can reach him. Hela has CC and an escape, while Black Widow has that fucking insane stunlock kick that for whatever reason the community is just okay with. Iron Man, Storm, Ultron. They can damage you from far away and can call you out to their team, but they don't really hard counter Sabertooth. Same thing with Human Torch. Human Torch can output more damage than the rest of the flyers, but he's not really going to be a threat, especially if you freaking down him or something. Black Panther and Spider-Man. The only reason this matchup is neutral is because BP and Spider-Man can run away at like Mach 500. Other than that, Sabertooth completely rips them in half. Groot and Strange can't really do anything because their slow asses can't stop Sabertooth, and since they don't have any CC, they need somebody else to peel for their supports. And Sabertooth doesn't have the DPS to kill them if they're full HP, so avoid them unless they're low. Angela. Angela can kidnap Sabertooth, but Sabertooth can just kidnap her back and ground her with the Predator Pounce. She's at a bigger disadvantage than he is, and he doesn't really have the DPS to kill her, so I would say just avoid each other if you can. Now, strong matchups. Sabertooth tears these characters apart or counters their playstyles completely. These characters are Adam Warlock, Blade, Hulk, Captain America, Cuck and Dagger, Hawkeye, Invisible Woman, Jeff, Loki, Luna, Magic, Mantis, this fucking idiot, Moon Knight, Phoenix, Psylocke, Squirrel Girl, Star-Lord, Scarlet Witch, Venom, and Rocket Raccoon. Luna, Mantis, Rocket, Adam, Cuck and Dagger, Loki, and Jeff are getting ripped apart if Sabertooth dives them. they don't have the mobility or the firepower to put Sabertooth down. And for characters like Cuck and Dagger and Loki, who have stationary healing, they can get kidnapped out of it. With Sabertooth's passive, he can see Invisible Woman and Loki if they're low and invisible. It's bad. So if you see Sabertooth coming, you better run for your life. Hawkeye. No mobility or CC, and his slash can easily be overcome with Sabertooth's mobility. It's a really bad matchup for Hawkeye, especially since he can't one-shot headshot him. Hulk, Captain America, and Venom. While Sabertooth doesn't hit like a truck like Wolverine does against them, his kidnap and pounce allow him to peel effectively and get them running back to their team. Moon Knight and Squirrel Girl. Now, these are kind of a toss-up, and I was debating whether I should put them in neutral matchups or not. But if they're with their team and they're just holding M1, there's not really much you can do against them. But if they're on a flank, then yeah, they just get completely destroyed. There's nothing they can do. It's Jover for them. Completely over. Magic, Psylocke, Star-Lord, Scarlet Witch, Blade, Phoenix, Mr. Fantastic. Their dives are easily interrupted, and Sabertooth shreds them apart with Savage Rampage. Especially this motherfucker, Blade and Scarlet Witch. They don't nearly have enough DPS to kill Sabertooth. Their best bet is to run away and hope it works. Especially Mr. Fantastic, who literally is just a freaking never-ending punching bag for Sabertooth. Like, seriously, it's bad. Well, that's Sabertooth's kit. Now, let's talk about costumes. Tailor-made Sabertooth, X-Men Origins Sabertooth, this Sabertooth, Ultimate Sabertooth, Classic Sabertooth, and the GOAT costume, the Jim Lee Sabertooth. If any hardcore Sabertooth fans are making it in this video, please let me know if there's more of Sabertooth's costumes, because right now the Jim Lee Sabertooth is the Sabertooth costume for me. I would buy that one and never take it off, literally. Anyway, that's been Sabertooth and Marvel Rivals. Next week I'll be designing Ghost Rider, also as a Vanguard. So subscribe to become a Doombot before it becomes cool, and you'll be notified when that video drops. Till next video, Haze out.